Quick video to show you how to make lives. So the first thing I want to do is up in the top of my code where I define my variables, I need to define a variable called lives that keeps track of lives. So I'm going to say integer lives equals 3. And that shows me that my lives are starting out as 3. So now I have an integer called lives. Now I do nothing in the setup. I don't need to do anything there. But in Draw, the way I have my code set up, I have all of my functions, and I actually have my background created up here first, before everything else. So what I want to do is, I want to be able to have it be so that I only do the levels when lives are greater than 0, and when lives equals 0, it does something else. So the first thing I'm going to add here in my code after the background is I'm going to say if lives equals 0, if lives is greater than 0, then I want to actually execute my code. And, I could actually do this if I really wanted to. I could say if lives is greater than 0, I only want to do everything that I have in the draw loop here, all these functions, if lives is greater than 0. Now I want to say if lives equals 0, so lives becomes 0. Maybe I want to say background is black and text size 60 and text game over, and I want to put that, let's say, what's my screen size, 600. I want to put that at 250, let's say 200, 300. Okay, so I already have two if statements. If lives is greater than 0, do all the stuff that I had in draw before, all the code. If lives equals 0, just make the background black and text game over. So that's what I've done. Now notice that's still in my main draw loop, and in fact I'm going to auto format my code so it's a little clearer. I open the draw loop. I happen to have my background not in the create scene. I have it just regular, so it makes a background. If lives is greater than 0, it executes the game. If lives equals 0, it just does another background, text size 60, and it texts game over. So I'm almost there. Now what I want to do is I want to come down to my check hit function. When I hit the barrier, right now I just send myself back to the beginning. What I want to do is, I also want to be able to count down lives every time I hit a barrier. So after I sent myself back to the beginning, so the first thing I want to do is pull myself off of the condition of hitting a barrier, send myself back to the beginning, and then immediately take away a life. So every time I hit a barrier, it'll relocate me and then take away a life, and then it'll come back up here and it'll say, okay, back to the beginning. Is lives greater than 0? Yes, play the game still. If lives equals 0, however, don't play the game anymore. It'll jump to here. So let's see what happens if I do that. So lives is greater than 0. I play the game, up, and I get game over. Now I could fix the centering of that a little bit. I don't really like the way that looks, so I'm going to make that 175. Let's see if it works a little better. 1, 2, 3. That looks better. I could probably even make it better. 160. We'll leave it like that. So there's my game over. So my code works, but the problem is I don't really know how many lives I have. So if I look at this, I'm like, oh, I'm assuming I have 3 lives, 2 lives, 1 life, 0, or 2, 1, 0, no more lives, game is over. But that's not fun. So I need to be able to put some code in here that tells me on the screen how many lives I have. And the way I'm going to do that, is after this code, I'm going to actually put, or you could put it at the beginning. You want to basically just make sure that you put it after your background command. So you just want it to be, and you could have it, if your background, if you want to do it, you could also do it in your create scene function. But I'm going to just put it, I'm going to put it at the end of my draw loop. So at the end of my draw loop, I'm going to put a command where I say text size equals 30. I'm going to make it a little smaller, and I'm going to say two things. I'm going to say text lives, the word lives, this is in quotes, equals, or how about you have, I'll say lives equals, like that. So it's going to tell me how many lives, it's going to print the words lives equals, and it's going to print it at x equals 30 and y equals 50. Okay, and then it's going to, I'm going to do something else. First, I'm going to see what that looks like. So let me do that. Oops. Text size equals 30. What did I do wrong? Oh, haha. Text size 30. I don't know why I did that. Okay, 30. That was funny. All right. So see how it's saying lives equal, and now I want to actually just print the variable lives right over here. And that probably is, if that's 30, I'd say that's probably about 75 right over there. So I'm going to put one more command, text. Now I'm not going to put it in quotes because I just wanted to take whatever lives is equal to and put it there. And I'm going to put it at 75.50, so it's a little further over. Maybe I can tweak this if it doesn't look right, but let's take a look. Yep, so see how the 3 is like really overlapped with that? So I have to move that 3 way over. So instead of 75, I'm going to make this 150. That's too far. I'm going to make it 125. That looks good. So it's telling me I have 3 lives. And let's see what happens with my lives count. 2, 1, 0, and now my game is over. And notice I'm just stuck in the game, and that's it. And the only way to fix it is to X out and start over. So that's how you add lives. You add a variable for lives. You put your game code in the if lives is greater than 0 in the draw loop. So you go into the draw loop, and then all your functions executed if lives is greater than 0. If lives equals 0, you make a game over screen, or you could just not do anything. You put this little code in there, which will be slightly different for you, but it's going to tell you keep a life count on the thing, and then you make sure you decrease the lives in your check hit function. That's it.